address the security of workers in a workspace. Uh, how safe are workspaces? The security, the safety, because if somebody works in your organization and actually just puts his hand in the mill and the hand is broken off, it's also part of security and safety.
Exactly.
And then the insurance that you give to your people. What do employers in labor do to protect their staff? What is the government's role in all of this? What is the role of staff themselves in protecting themselves, and the role of the employer, and the role of security agencies? And we're saying this in the light of the Offa bank robbery that has claimed policemen, customers, and a friend of mine was in a conversation with me yesterday and said he lost his brother, who was a police officer, and that he was traveling so that he could do sort out burial arrangements.
Wow.
So it just leads me to say that the topic we wanted to discuss, we said let's shelve it to next week. Let's discuss the security of employees, staff in a work environment, especially bankers. Because we're still a cash-driven society, this cashless thing has not taken on, especially in those rural areas. Most times ATMs have not caught on so much. So cash is still being moved.
And even in the urban areas where ATM has caught on, have you had
Some people still
network issues where you are at the ATM, which is also part of the security issue.
Okay.
So most times you find a lot of people milling around the ATMs and all of that. And then you're spending longer hours. The networks aren't going. You're having to try your cards on several machines.
And there are several robberies too at
exactly.
ATMs.
Of course.
Taking on an
People
ATM.
wait for you as soon as you get your money.
Yes.
And then taking people to ATMs to
go
withdraw
and
money.
Withdraw their
Exactly.
money, and then I mean, it's all part of the security. We're not alert as a people. So even when you are at the ATM, you are also so conscious of protecting your PIN that you are not conscious of the fact that maybe this person, so someone comes on a motorbike and drops somebody, you're not conscious that, okay, what's going on? Why are they waiting for
Exactly.
this person to withdraw some cash and all that? So you could easily make a report to a police officer or something. But I guess it's all part of it. Really.
The other thing that I need to say is that a lot of banks have security officers that are not armed.
Yes, you see that a lot.
Yes, yeah. Okay, this is not a bank. NTA headquarters is not a bank. But most of the security people that work at the personnel that let you in and let you out are not armed.
So how do they defend themselves if something goes wrong at the gate? What would they do? Fight physically or run?
I think the last part sounds.
They will run, but then again, somebody is going to blame the security man and say he's not
At the end of
competent.
the
But
day,
really,
yes.
he is
Yes, what
competent. You've
would
not
you- yes.
empowered him to deliver on his role.
But then you see, this can be weighed on both sides, and I think that the issue of arms is also another issue. So you arm a security officer. It takes me back to the very beginning. First of all, how are these security officers? We are not talking about the former security officers that are police or mobile police or all of that. We're talking about the security guards or security agencies that are used. How are the security agencies regulated? Who regulates their activities? So in the first place, so that brings up to the issue of the people that are taking as security guards. Where are they from? What's their antecedents? What's their background? What kind of trainings are given to them?
Okay, so
To
before
the
you
point
employ
where
them,
you now say you are giving them arms.
okay. So before you employ them, you should do due diligence,
Of course.
DNA, and
Because
all
it
of
can
that
also
sort of
be unsafe. You give somebody who's
Exactly.
unruly a gun and then he becomes something else. So
Or it's
really,
temperamental.
Or
exactly.
it's
So you need to
temperamental,
check
or
all of
even
that as well.
someone that has had the history of pilfering. He will say, I'm not an armed robber, but he used to steal, and all
No, he's
of
not
that.
an armed robber, but things get missing when he's around.
Then because most of those security guards are those you find that they didn't get any job to do. They couldn't
So
find
it's
anything
half
else
or
to
do.
do. So half or do,
Exactly.
they begin to do that. So who's training them? Who's doing due diligence? Who's even doing, like you talked about, reference checks for them to even become security guards?
Exactly.
Because whether you like it or not, you're talking about the Offa robbery. Common sense will say to you that there's a bit of complicity somewhere.
Like somebody informed
there
them
must
before they
definitely
go.
have been, because it was too coordinated and attacked.
Then again, it's the issue of a cash-driven society. Because if salaries, because most times these robbers now target end of months and the first week of the month.
Yeah.
So if you are a cashless society, if they come to the bank, they won't see anything
Any
to take
cash,
in the
yeah.
first place.
Exactly.
So it also matters because now the reason a lot of banks said they've not spread into some of those places is power, electricity, and because you need IT, you need data to run ATM points.
And awareness. I think that, I mean, even for some of us that have caught on not wanting to run with cash or sometimes doing the cashless, you can really be frustrated. You can really be frustrated. There are times when you're unable to do even the mobile transfer,
POS
and then
or
you
something.
stop by the
Or even
POS
use the card.
Yes.
The POS refuses to work, keeps declining, and you are having to check again. Do I have money or I don't have money? But it keeps declining, and they keep saying to you is the network. Then you stop by at an ATM to withdraw cash, and it says service unavailable.
Yeah.
What about the
Or your
queue,
bank
the
unavailable.
queues that you
The
find
queues
at
at
some ATM points?
So it's all part of it. So whether it catches on or not, you find out that those in the rural areas would rather not spend that kind of time having to catch my money.
Plus the charges that
plus
are
the-
on.
plus
Exactly.
those charges alone are enough to
Ridiculous
scare
charges.
any market woman away. You know, I mean, if the nearest ATM is not my bank ATM and you're going to charge me 65 naira.
Whether it is less or more.
No, you're going to charge me 65 naira. If I remove 1,000 naira, you're going to charge me 65 naira. So, I mean, some of these issues are issues that, again, it still comes out for me, stakeholder engagement. Nobody's talking to the consumers. The CBN gives directive. The banks take it on. They do what they like. Nobody's talking to stakeholders, because there's no way you will talk to your stakeholders, your core stakeholders, the people that matter, not the people you think that matter, your high-profile net worth, or your customers that you think that bring in the much more money. But you see those ones that are down below that make up the bottom part of the pyramid. You're not talking to them to say what are some of the issues, because whether you like it or not, I can assure you that security will be one of the top issues that will come up. Say, look, I'm not comfortable with coming into the bank. One, I'm not comfortable queuing for hours to get my money. I'm not, so many of these things, which will now make them to focus on the core area of this security issue. Because then when you are able to take on security, then you come back to the issue of security of life and properties.
Because now policemen are dead, staff are dead,
Exactly.
customers
Exactly.
are dead. And it didn't happen with one bank.
Yes,
It
5
happens-
banks.
Yes, exactly. And so what is the role of the security agencies in protecting the lives of these employers and the employees? We'll be back after this break to talk about the security of our workspaces, the labor market, after this break. So we're talking about security in the workspace, security of the labor market. It's known that okay, I've been around bankers for a while, and I remember that one of the most secure banker used to be the man that's in charge of the vault. There are two people, the risk officer and the man that's in charge of the vault. Two of them hold keys to the vault, and these people are always highly protected. After a while, I think it now became the protection of EDs and
Ladies of banks.
Yes, EDs of
top-
banks,
the
even
top
GMs. Some GMs have oddlies as well, or security.
top edge
Yes,
one.
and then what about the staff that work in the bulkroom? What about the people who are
What's
not
in the
up to the
banking
level
hall?
of in the banking hall, especially the people in the
In the
banking hall?
banking hall.
What is it? What is the protection of these people that work that have put their life on the, because that is just putting your life on the line.
I think that one of the mistakes that employers make is that they focus on
The top.
instead of protecting or preventing something from going wrong, they think if it goes wrong, we'll compensate you with that.
Okay.
An employer doesn't
Compensation
really
is not the first way to
compensate
go.
me, just protect me, make sure it doesn't happen. Because now that I think about it, I can't remember if I walk into a bank today, I'm not, it's just a regular security man that is there now that will just check. I will enter that thing to beep if I'm holding. Really, they see me with a double barrel, will they stop me? They won't now. We enter the bank and that's it. So have you proven to your employee, who is the banking officer, that you care about him? If all you're going to say is, I've given him group life insurance, there's health insurance, so even if they shoot him, he will go to a good hospital. We don't want them to have to shoot you. We want you to protect my life. Let me feel safe coming to work every day.
I think that's the key. That and again, you know, just piggybacking on that, what kind of training are given to staff on security
Exactly.
issues? That's what my point is. Is security a key issue?
Like a security drill, like if you mentioned.
Yes. So is security? Is there any security drill?
Because beyond
Are we taught? Nothing.
even for fire.
Yeah.
How many organizations have told their employees, in the case of a fire, this is what will happen?
do.
What kills people is stampede, is fear. It's not even the fire itself.
Yeah.
So I think about it. So you come, you go to your office, you fire extinguisher. Do they know how to use it? So if something goes wrong today, do they know what to do? But in their mind, I will give you life insurance now. So if something happens,
Or we'll have the guy that runs errands in the office.
exactly,
He will come and
he will just come and pour water
take
or
care of
something.
it.
After the fire has started.
I remember a friend of mine who, in their office, the office fridge caught fire. And a colleague of hers said, oh, pour water on it.
Oh, yes.
She didn't know that she poured water and she flew.
Now, my wife can say anything and he can go and report. We had a girl, Victoria, who came from Etinan. I was working with us. If you listen, wait, let me say, wait. No, but she came from Etinan. All right, if she was working with us. And this morning, she just called us. There was, she said that it can NEPA.
Okay.
It can NEPA had come. That
the
NEPA light had come. And so I was like, okay. So she went to do the changeover and the box caught fire. Wow. So I was hearing, it can. I was hearing, it can. And Madam was in the bathroom, and I was wondering, is she so happy that
they brought light?
They brought light. But the thing was fluctuating. And from the bathroom, my wife said, check Victoria, that it looks like there's fire. I said, no, that she's happy that NEPA. He said, no. She said, it can. I said, that's light. He said, no, this fire. It's the same word for light and for fire. I ran downstairs. Do you know what she had done? She had gone back to the back of the house to fetch water.
Oh my goodness.
And came. So I just got there and took the mop and knocked off the cables and all of those stuff. And till date, I think that for staff, you need to give them the drill. Let them know that if there's fire, this is what to do.
You're talking about it now, and honestly, I feel horrible because I have fire extinguishers. I have 2 fire extinguishers.
And you don't think your girls can operate them?
By my generator. No, it's only my guard, because when they brought the fire extinguishers, they did the training for my guard. And I'm wondering, the 2 people inside the house.
If there's any, and he's not around, what happens?
Who is in the kitchen? Who needs it more?
Exactly.
And there are fire extinguishers inside the house.
Okay.
So they think it's one big iron.
There's
one in the kitchen thinking of it, and she hates the thing because the thing keeps falling down to hit her leg, and she hates it. So I have to now get them to hang it properly, and she doesn't know what it is. So
in her mind, water. I will just pour water.
It's
so she too will now begin to shout, Ika. Or where is she from?
So for us, you're so right, and that's what happens in the workplace as well. That We don't think about
Take
it
things
that
for granted.
there's no fire drill. There's nothing to say that this is what you should do in the event of a fire, and it's the same thing. This is what you should do in the event of an attack on the security. Or
Yes,
a
if
breach
somebody
in
walks into your,
security.
it's just like sometimes in my current office. So before we had the bell, you could just walk into the office, and somebody will come in and say, "I'm looking for Evie," and they'll just say, "That's her." I always deny it's not me. Hello,
Exactly.
do I know you?
Exactly.
But you know, I thought about it. My receptionist didn't know better. Who had
Yeah.
told her that when somebody comes, "I'm looking for Evie," where are you from? Is she expecting you? There's
Okay,
so many
please
things.
Sit down.
Sit down.
Let me
then
find out if she's
you just
around.
look at her, open office, and that's it. But
No, but you know that the incidences of where, and this against security breach, where people have come into offices and maybe poured acid or attacked
Yeah.
somebody, have been cases like that.
Yes.
So whether we like it or not, in the workplace, the security issues of security are so they are in levels and multi-levels, and things that employees and employees need to know. They need to find out this place that I work, how secure is it?
Exactly.
The office next to us, for whatever reason, and I've been saying that that place gives me the hiccups. Just next, so when we are upstairs, we can see into their compound. They've been attacked 2 or 3 times.
So what should be done? Is it CCTV? Is it the training, like you said, proper scrutiny of the people you
I think
employ?
depending on what you're even doing, the nature of your business. So, for
Business.
example, you have event companies that they always send their staff go to Ibadan to go and set up. Go, who goes with them?
Yeah.
Do you send security with them?
Yeah.
Do you just say, "I'm giving them 5K"? If anything, just what do you do specifically? What policies do you have? So, depending on the nature of your business, you would know what is required.
Yeah.
If you work in a bank, my people need to know, in the case of a robbery, these are the 10 things you need to do. The security men need to know, these are the 5
True.
things you need
If
to
you
do.
let me interrupt
Yeah.
you, most times some people try to be heroes. Maybe they've watched Wakanda.
Or CSI.
Yeah, or CSI.
CSI.
And then these guys come and you are asking them questions
Yes.
in the face
Yeah.
of
Yes.
of guns.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when these guys are working with limited time, they don't have time.
They don't have the patience.
Exactly. They know their lives are on the line, so they want to
Exactly.
get this
Yeah.
stuff and get
Yeah.
out quick.
But people are not trained. You don't know.
But people are not trained, and that's where you need to train your staff, especially like you said, if you're working in a highly volatile environment
Yes.
like a bank, or even the petrol stations. They rob petrol
Yeah.
stations.
But
Oh, they rob petrol
They have
stations
cash now.
in fact, it is too often.
oh really?
It is too often. So if you notice, there are some petrol stations that are very smart about it, and they have a police van stationed right there. They rob, especially the ones by the expressway.
Yeah.
They rob them two for
Okay.
two for
All
a
right.
dozen.
We'll go on an express break, and then when we come back, we'll be rounding up the show. We're talking security in the workplace.
Got that.
All right. Okay now. The whole of Nigeria knows that the word for fire and the word for light from
Isikan.
Isikan.
That's so not fair. I have to find what it is called in Benin. I have to find that. That's my assignment for next week.
It can. The show is on Ikan today. Well, all right. So the before now, the places that are prone to security issues. You have toll gates
Yes.
back in the days.
Back in the
Because,
even till now.
Yeah, back in the days.
Well,
Toll
these
gate,
days now.
Bureau de change.
Yes.
The one at Allen. Then there used to be one at the airport.
Yes.
That used to be robbed regularly.
Yes. Yeah.
Then there's Balogun, or what's it called, near Nigerian Stock Exchange. There used to be one place there, and they get robbed nearly all the time. Eco Hotel has been done twice, and then there was a time the Federal Palace also had an issue because they had a bureau de change. These places get robbed. So what, beyond teaching these people, those areas that have such fiscal cash movement, shouldn't we have police
Yes, security officers.
surveillance of
Yes,
those places? Yeah.
constantly. Even in your regular office, if you know the nature of your business involves certain things, you should have police officers outside. It's not necessarily because you still can't get attacked. It's just that it deters a lot of things. It gives your employees the feeling of I'm being safe, I'm being secured, I'm being protected.
But can you also bring up the issue of, do we have enough security policemen?
Like most big men have like 4 or 5.
Do we have enough qualified and competent?
You know, taking care of the populace that can be drafted to these places. Okay, so it's part of the security question we need to answer, because then the security of lives and property is so important that our lives as Nigerians need to matter. And then that's just not because from day to day you wake up in the morning, you're going to your workplace, you're leaving your house, you feel insecure. You get to your workplace, you feel insecure. You're coming back, you feel insecure. I think that is something that we really need to think about as a people.
All right. So today we've been talking about security in the workplace, how to protect the employers and protect the employees. Customers especially, because if your customers are coming to that space where you work and their lives would be endangered, then there's need to do. So we advise that you have CCTV, you have police patrol. I'd mentioned the case of helicopters before, because it's better considering the traffic that we have in certain parts of this country. For a car to drive from one place to the other will be a lot of work if there's the kind of jam. Okay, like if Buhari is in town and there's robbery happening somewhere, everywhere will be locked down. So you have armed guards, and then police officers can be in mufti, security officers can be in mufti, and work like.
But they need to be trained. They need to be trained. I mean, we really need to look into that. They need to be trained. So not just the police officers now, even the security companies, the security firms. That a lot of people employ these days. So you see this in a lot of offices where they are the ones that open the door and all of that. But how many of them are trained?
Most of them are registered by the Nigerian Security and Defense. What's it called? Is it civil defense? Civil defense.
But are they trained? So who is civil defense coordinating the activities of these security firms? Are they trained? Are the people they employ trained? The people they employed, who are they? Do they have a database of them? I know quite a number that have left the security firms that they are working and gone on to do something else. So who is tracing them? Who's following up? I mean, in developed countries, there's a way and manner these things are done.
And this is the last take I would have. Do you know that most of the security guys, if you tip a lot of them, a lot of things can happen?
Of course, because at the end of the day, it's greed now. It's selfishness. It's myself. Do they really care about you?
So just imagine if the security guy is asking for 1029 and then you call him and say, I can give you 500,000. Just let us know when cash is
when he knows he's going to resign, he can pay his children's school fees.
There was a case study. I mean, we don't have time, but there was a case study when I was doing my law exams that came up, and it kind of tinkered in my head that this one is something that can happen on a daily basis. So when competitors want to find out about what you are doing, there's a time of the night, especially in countries that the weather is very cold, where it snows. They go at 12 midnight or so, when of course the docking has been closed and all that, and the securities are just looking for how to be warm and all that. That's when they make a phone call to say, oh, hello, I would like to find out when you are opening and all of that. Okay, so what companies use your business? Because we are very big, we want to use your business. And the man, he just starts rattling, just tells them everything that they need to know. Okay, so what time do you open? What time do you close? So they know the operations, and the competitor is able to work against it. And of course, somehow it became, the business in question found out, and of course sued this other company, and that's how it became a case. So you can imagine a place in Nigeria where we don't even have a follow-up system, where we don't have a tracking system. Like you said, it's so easy to tip somebody whose salary is just 30,000 naira. Exactly. All you need to do is give him 150,000 naira.
Abi?
And then he gives you a tip.
Isn't that most of the time what these house helps do? You say somebody came and asked for madam and asked for this and give them, go in and pack all the jewelry and give to the person. You know, we need to begin to get our security act together so we protect our labor market. We don't have enough hands, and so we shouldn't lose people. All right, our security agencies should be up to the task in protecting lives of workers. Thank you, and that's our program for today. Have a wonderful week. Thank you, Vie.
Thank you,
Ini. Welcome back. Welcome back. That's our show. Bye bye.
NTA language.
Jama'a masu kallon labaran NTA Hausa barkanmu da warhaka. Ni ne.
Ekukale lode yin yan wise kudede ya.
Igbo murum kachano.
Broadcasting in the language you understand better. Our programs. Transmitting on the Star Times platform 24 hours.